Is it just me, or is coding a lost art? We have Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, and the list goes on with all these other AIs. It just seems like everyone is vibe coding nowadays. What's vibe coding? You just tell the AI, hey, build me this code. AI builds the code, and you just trust the AI that it made no errors whatsoever. I don't mind AI, but I'm noticing something. All these companies are starting to realize one important thing. AI costs money.
Big tech is scrambling to slow down its use of AI. Major companies have already exhausted their annual budgets, and some say it's getting more difficult to justify the costs. Get this, one consultant told Axios a client accidentally spent $500 million on AI in just a month.
And next thing you know, now these companies want you to code by hand, which leads me to today's video. Well, a series of videos. I have always wanted to learn how to code, more specifically Python, but I would stick with it, then stop, then stick with it, then stop, so on and so forth. So I came up with the idea of making a Python series for beginners. If you're watching this, guess what? You're a beginner. I'm a beginner. So let's learn Python together. Roll my intro. First, we're gonna need an environment to code in. This is where VS Code comes into play. We're here on the VS Code webpage, and with VS Code, imagine that it's your coding canvas. You can code anything from Python, Java, HTML, whatever you need to code, you can do it here. We're on a Linux VM. If you're using Windows, don't worry, the install process, it's simple. It's just like installing any other program you would on a Windows PC. For our Linux users, I'll walk you through it step by step. It's easy and it won't take long at all. All we need to do is just install the .deb package. Once we have the package downloaded, we're gonna go ahead and install VS Code using the following command on screen right here. During the install process, you may get this message. We're just going to select yes, and we're going to keep going with the download. Now that we have VS Code installed, we can open VS Code via one of two ways. Either by going to our applications, or we can just type in code here in the terminal. Now that we have VS Code open, first we're going to need to make a folder to store all our Python scripts. It's going to ask us if we trust the author, which of course we do, because we are the author. Now let's go ahead and make our folder where we're going to store our code in. And for this demonstration, we'll call our file ep1.py. And seeing how we're saving this as a .py, one of the things you'll notice is that VS Code is asking us to install the Python extension. So let's go ahead and install the extension, and we'll pick it back up once everything's installed. Now that we have our Python extension installed, let's go ahead and start doing some actual coding. One of the things you'll notice about VS Code is that it will autocomplete what you're typing. As you can see here, it's wanting to autocomplete print. But one thing that I want you guys to take note of, you notice that yellow line right there? This is called linting. It lets us know that there's an error in our code. I'm going to type out the rest of our code and I'll break down what everything means. First we have print. This is what's called a function. This is how you're telling Python to display something on screen. The parentheses is just telling Python, hey, I'm giving you something to work with here. The quotation marks is telling Python whatever is between them is text and not actual code. If you leave the quotes out, Python is going to think you're referring to something else and you may end up getting an error. So anytime you want to print actual words, make sure you wrap your text in quotation marks. Now the text. Here we have hello world. This is called a string. A string is just the characters between our quotes and our parentheses. Even the space between hello and world, that also counts as a character. Another thing to note with the quotation marks, you can use either single quotes or double quotes. It's your preference. Now let's go ahead and run our code. With VS Code, we can run our code in different ways. One way is to just right click, go down to Run Python, then click Run in Terminal. And look at that, we have our first piece of code. Python can also do math problems as well. Let me show you what I mean. I'm just gonna type out a few math problems. And I'll use 2 plus 2 to demonstrate what I mean. Now notice with our 2 plus 2 example, we don't have any quotes. What we're telling Python to do is just add 2 and 2 together. And when we run it, we get our result here. Now, if we were to put quotes around 2 plus 2, that's telling Python that it's not a math problem. This is a text that we want it to display. So once again, remember, if you want Python to say something, make sure you use your quotation marks, double quotes or single. Like I said, it's up to you. Python is also very picky when it comes to syntax. You see how I did print followed by our text, but we still have that yellow line showing us that there's an error? You're probably a bit confused. We have print, what's the problem? That P needs to be lowercase. Like I said, Python is picky when it comes to the syntax. When we run the code, notice how we get an error. So when writing your code, be mindful of those little things. Now there's one last thing I want to show you guys. You ever notice when you download code off of GitHub, for example, and then you notice a hashtag followed by a string of text? That's called commenting something out. People comment stuff out to leave themselves notes, instructions, other things of that nature. With commenting something out, we see it on the back end, but when we actually run the code itself, that text that was commented out, we don't see that. Let me give you an example. We're just gonna do a hashtag followed by this is a test, and when we run our code, notice how everything else is ran, but the this is a test comment, it's not there because it's commented out. So that's it with today's video, guys. This was just a brief overview of some of the simple stuff that Python can do. As we dive more and more into this series, we're going to be doing more interesting things. Like I said, guys, I'm a beginner, you're a beginner, but I feel that we can learn this together and we can grow and we can add something extra to our tool belt. But that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, buy my book, link down below. And like always, thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you on the next one.